What's going on, everybody? I'm Justin.
And I'm MaHogany.
Listen, we want to thank you so much for watching this video, but we want you to also subscribe, like, and share this video and subscribe to our channel. Make sure you do that. But today, what are we going to be talking about?
We're going to be talking about our engagement story. So pause. If you haven't checked out our love story video, the link to it is in the description box below. The love story video sets the premise to the engagement.
It does.
So make sure you watch that one and then come back here and listen to our engagement story.
Yep. And go find, you got to pick the pieces out because everything she said in the love story. And that's from her point of view, and then I got my point of view, so you got to find the truth in it.
It's all true.
Yeah.
Y'all know if I say it, then that's how it went.
So, how did we get engaged?
So, once I came back from Harvard, we dated for about 6 to 7 months. And we ended up getting engaged at my conference.
Okay. I remember, yep.
Which was a conference that God had given me post being saved. He basically wanted me to create a conference to, empower women and allow women to get saved and everything through that. We ended up having Jacqueline Carr as our guest speaker. And that's where you decided to propose. Yeah,
that's why I decided to propose. We had this conference. We had put a lot of work into it. And I just felt that this was the location. This was the time to propose. I believe, when I told you the second date, that I knew she was going to be my wife. So I knew this was the time and this was the place to propose to her. And that's when I decided to do it. Mind you, I was nervous. Now, I don't get nervous much. I still get nervous when it comes to, I will say a lot of people don't think you follow me as a preacher, a pastor. I do still get nervous because you can mess up anytime you get on stage. You just have that's always a thought of messing up. But I was nervous. I forgot how to bow down, and I forgot what to say. But and I remember Sheridan when at the conference, during the conference, when I got ready to propose. Basically, we did this video and we interrupted the service. So everybody, I think we was at the part of welcoming when she came on as the president of the conference and the organization, and she was getting ready to do a welcome, and we just cut right into the service.
Y'all, I thought something was wrong, and knowing me, I like things to flow, especially when I put a lot of work into it. So when this random video pops on screen, I'm like,
yeah,
Jesus.
Now, mind you, she likes to be in control of everything.
No, I don't.
She likes to be in control of everything.
No, I
don't. She puts God in the chair, which we all have a problem on. But she already peeping on God's shoulder. Make sure you do it right.
Nah.
So she had that control. So she was like, what in the world? This ain't what's supposed to be on the screen. So we interrupt the service. And I come up on the screen and I basically expressing my love for her, how much I love her, and all of that. And then I walk to the front of the conference, on stage. And I proposed, and I forgot what to say, and I forgot how to bow down. So Sheridan Donegan, one of my great friends and brothers, he was like, all right, bow down. And I forgot what leg and everything. I was so nervous. And I asked the question. And which you're going to see the video, but I asked the question, would she marry me? And she was crying, and I don't know what she even say yes. So I don't know if she here by against her will, or I don't know.
I mean, I said yes. I was just nervous too. Mind you, he said he was nervous, but he flowed through it. I would have never thought that he was nervous. Mind you, I had just got saved. I was not used to being on no stage and stuff, so I was super, super nervous. So I was like, I probably said the lowest yes in the world. I said yes though. Obviously, because I'm here.
Yeah.
But
you got no other choice.
Please. But I did say yeah. It's just really, really low because I was really, really, really nervous. But I guess people want to know, like, how'd you get the ring? How'd you know which one to get?
That night, I got actually a couple days before, I can't remember. We went to the ring store. And she tried on some rings, found which one she liked. And the one she said she liked, I remember. I think I wrote it down or something. And the night of the
rare things he remembered that I tell him.
Let's talk about what you remember.
Yeah, okay.
Got to remind you every day or something. Get your call and pay the bill.
First of all.
But she tried the ring on. So I went back the night of the conference. Sheridan went with me. and we picked up the ring that night, and I just kind of kept it in my pocket, kept it in my hotel room, and kind of went from there. So that's how I got the ring. Let's see, what's next?
I guess we can throw the clip in right
Let's
here.
throw
so
the
y'all
clip
can see
in.
it.
Let you take a look real quick.
And to those that did, thank you. I wasn't nervous before, but I'm nervous up to this point. But tonight, MaHogany, Ariana Matthews. I love you, and you've seen it from the video. Can you come up on stage? Amen. Yeah, Lord, I'm getting a little old. Ministry unity. MaHogany, Ariana Matthews, will you marry me?
What'd you say?
All righty, we're back. So we hope you enjoyed. That is really our engagement process. Very simple. We both was nervous. We both were scared. Young.
I was 18. You were
21.
21.
Was that 20?
No, you were
20. Right?
19. About to turn 20.
Yeah, I was 19 years old. So, a whole nother video we can talk about why we got married young. But that's our engagement process. So. I know one thing I get, I see a lot of, which I want you to dive in and talk about, is people being either stuck in the engagement process or waiting forever to get into the engagement process.
So I guess we can start with the first one. People waiting forever to get in the engagement process. So many people think that you need to have X, Y, and Z before you get engaged. And the thing is,
that's true.
And the thing is, when you know that that's the one for you, when you know that God has called you to be together, stop thinking that you need to have everything in place. There's never going to be a perfect time to get engaged. There's never going to be a perfect time to get married, a perfect time to start your business, step out and do X, Y, and Z. So you just have to move when God tells you to do, like we did. So, if you're wondering, if you're a woman or if you're a man, and you're like, I want to marry somebody. I want to marry this person, but I'm waiting for the right time. Don't wait to complete college or wait to have a certain job or any of that unless God told you to. But if it's something that you have in your heart that you just want to do so that you can feel more accomplished or feel more qualified, God will do all of that in His time.
And it's usually us men. I've observed of us waiting. It's us waiting because we want to feel like we got to have a lot of money in the bank. We feel like we got to have our credit score at a good place. We feel like we got to have the best job. We feel like we got to be making the top dollar. We feel like we got to have it all. And truth is, if you wait for the perfect season to have it all, you're going to be waiting. If you wait in the perfect season, and the truth is, and this is another thing, a lot of us men, you want to wait till you got it all. And truth is, you can't wait forever when it comes to having sex.
Well,
so you find yourself trying to wait on your time, and really you end up waiting and you fall into sin. Because you waiting for this big picture of having it all together, and sometimes having the best credit score, all the money in the bank, having the house, the dream car, all that sometimes comes together when you become one.
Yes.
Because sometimes 2 paychecks is better than one.
Right.
2 incomes is better than one. So you got to learn to stop waiting to jump into the engagement process and just jump right in. And you got to learn to when God says make that move, unless he said maybe, because sometimes we make the move and God ain't nowhere in it.
Right.
You got to understand when there's a good, and ladies, and you got to understand that's when there's a good opportunity and a God opportunity.
Right.
So you got to understand when there's a good move and a God move. If God has called you to if you found that woman, marry her. Stop playing with her heart. Stop playing in the bedroom. Because you laying a pipe in the bedroom is not important. You laying a mission in front of that woman is more important. You laying out a plan and a goal for y'all's future is more important than sitting there laying, being laid by her, or you laying her. It's not important. And you're going to find yourself, when you do that, you're going to be letting lust lead you instead of love.
Yes.
So from this, I want you to understand, jump in when God tells you to jump in.
For real, for real.
Yep.
Seriously. I mean, a lot of people look at us as a couple and they're inspired, by the things we have, family, and just, goals and businesses and different things like that. But we built everything together. We didn't come already with anything.
No.
We went from the lowest to low to
the highest to high.
So,
and we went from the lowest to low.
The lowest to low.
Yep, lowest to low. Didn't have a pot to piss in. Excuse my language, but that's where we went.
So, be encouraged. We've been able to build everything together. So don't think that you need to have all of this stuff. But I will say you do need to be whole before you get married, because I'm just speaking to my ladies specifically, because some of us, we think that, I can cook, I can clean, I can care for somebody, and that means that you are wifey material. But to be quite honest, you need to be whole on the inside. That's what really qualifies you for marriage, being whole on the inside, having a relationship with God, because you will get married and the person that's your spouse, they're not supposed to be filling your voice, filling your broken heart and all that.
Yep.
God is supposed to do that. If you, put your trust in them to fill your heart and to fill your voice, you'll always end up short, because that was never their position. They're supposed to be your helpmate, help you in life, not be your God, So I think just for us ladies, we're always like, I'm ready for marriage. I'm ready. But are you whole? Are you healed? Do you have a relationship with God? Or are you, expecting your Prince Charming to do all
And
that?
you got to understand, marriage is not a glamorous thing. It has its ups. It has its ups. You can be blessed from the bank account to the bedroom. But marriage is work.
Yes.
And you got to understand that faith without works is dead. And if you're not willing to work in your own life, work on your own goals, work on your own self, work for your own businesses, work on getting yourself up, you are not ready for a marriage, because marriage requires sacrifice. It requires work. It requires discipline, and it requires more than just having sex, having kids, and looking at each other and taking Instagram pictures and all of that. That's what you see on Instagram. But there's a part where you're going to have to work. You're going to sacrifice. You're going to cry, and you're going to have some bad days, but you're going to also have some good days. But marriage requires work. So you got to ask yourself, if you're not willing to work already on yourself, you're not ready to work on two people and coming together for a household. Lastly, I want to jump in and talk about the part where people stay in the engagement process too daggone long.
Yes. I know people who have been engaged a year to two. Well, I'm not saying a year is too short, but I'm saying like 2 years.
I got uncles that's been engaged for 10 years. Come on now.
Look, I personally believe that the engagement process should last a year max.
Yeah.
And even a year is kind of stretching it. We got married probably 6 months to 7 months after we got engaged, and I think that was a prime time.
It was.
I feel like when people wait, they end up playing house. They start cohabitating, living together, working on everything as a couple, when really y'all ain't supposed to be at that stage yet. That happens once you get married. And I feel like people still have that mindset they need to have all this stuff together, and they just continue to wait. But your engagement process is supposed to be seasonal. Let you plan the wedding, let you, get everything prepared, but it ain't supposed to be this long forever thing.
Process.
It's never.
And don't get caught up in having this whole big wedding, trying to please all the family and bring all this together. At the end of the day, get you a couple people. If you can't even get that, you go down to the courthouse, do what you got to do, and get married. I say this is my theology, my thinking, and this is how I think. Get it under the blood. Because you don't want to be out of not being covered by God's blood. The Bible says in Egypt day and at the beginning with Israel, he said to put the blood over the doorpost, and when the death angel comes, the death angel will pass over because you're covered by the blood. And you don't want to be at a place in your household and in your and whatever your relationship, that your relationship is not covered by the blood. Because I will say this, and I don't care who want to debate me, there is certain blessings. You can get together all you want. You can live in a household all together and play house, but there's only some certain blessings that come when you're married. There's only some certain things God will release from heaven. Let heaven be on earth. There's only some certain things that only come from heaven when you put this thing under the blood, when you become one flesh. So you can play house all you want, but you're going to be playing house and trying to figure out why there's confusion. You're going to be playing house and trying to figure out why there's a lust and not love. You're going to be in your house trying to figure out why there's cheating going on. You're going to be trying to figure out why your kids out. It's because you playing house and you ain't made it official yet. And you ain't put it under God's blood. And you ain't put God's blessing on it yet.
Yes. He can't bless your house when it's out of order. I talk to my ladies all the time that are in my inner circle or just within my women groups. And they're like, I want God to bless X, Y, and Z. But God can't put his hand over something that is out of order.
Can't do it.
I mean, if he's a God that's going to do that, then he might as well just start blessing everybody that's just living out of order and living in corrupt, living a corrupt life. If he going to bless, what you're doing, you may be a great person. You may have the best, the best interest in mind, but it has to be in order.
It has to be in order.
God can't just drop his blessing on confusion. And for my ladies out there, let's make sure that we set standards. So many of you guys are just playing house and you're not engaged or, whatever your situation may be, and you're okay with him allowing you to be a wife in the house, but not with the title. You like, I don't need the title. Well, yes, you do. You're deserving of that. You think you just want to be playing house the rest of your life? No. If he don't want to wife you, don't be waiting around forever for him to do it.
Yeah, stop cooking the food. Stop doing all that you doing. If it's a wifely duty, that don't come till you get married. Okay? So, 2 things I want you to take. Don't take forever to jump in the engagement process, men. And if she even telling you, we need to do this, do that. No, don't take forever to jump in. If God tells you to move, move. Secondly, don't stay in the engagement process too long. If you ain't got the money to get married, if you ain't got the money to have the wedding, go to the courthouse. Go to the courthouse and plan the wedding for later. And we'll talk about that in another video. We didn't have a wedding yet, but we're going to do something. But you got to move. The most important thing I want you to say, move when God moves.
And I know we're trying to wrap up, but I just feel led to say this. If your family don't support you,
come on,
still keep going in the process.
Keep going. If they don't want to get on board, keep going. If they don't like your spouse, keep going. Whatever, when God tells you yes, that's all you need. So guess what? I want you to jump out there and move when God says move. And get your love and enjoy your life.